Parents, this is just a quick video that goes through some of the highlights of the presentation during the meeting on September 3rd. So at any point, if you have questions, please direct them to your camp director. So Achieves Camp is November 12th through 15th. The director is Ms. Rankin. Believes Camp is November 15th through the 22nd. The director is Mr. Herndon. And Inspires Camp is April 1st through the 4th, and the director is Miss Davenport. During the meeting, we did pass out a handout. Please make sure and click on the link from the email that we sent to refer back to them. There are all kinds of hyperlinks for you to get to any of the handouts that were given out during the night. So just to let you know, Parkway's program has been going on since the 70s. We just hit year mark that we have been going. There is a focus on environmental and the outdoors and an educational experience. We go for 4 days and 3 nights. Most of the time we leave on a Tuesday, leaving about 9 a.m., returning Friday between 1 and 1:15. It is a YMCA camp called Camp Lakewood. It is in Potosi, Missouri. It is about an hour and a half away by bus, and it is a campground, and the students do ride a school bus. So approximately 40% of the cost is covered by the district, and the remaining is a student fee. This year's fee is $325. That includes a $25 activity fee from Northeast, which includes a shirt. Just so you have that breakdown, that $300 is the district payment. It includes lodging, all of your meals. We have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and also a snack and an evening dessert, an evening snack. It's insurance for the 4 days and 3 nights. It's staffing, supplies, and transportation. For $25, it also includes a camp shirt. Every child will get a camp shirt and some of the other programming fees that we have. Payments must be made full before your child goes to camp. You can set up a payment plan. That is not a problem at all. All you need to do is make sure and contact Lynn Decker, and there's her phone number. Parkway really wants 100% of kids to go to camp, so they make every effort to help you out in any way you can. That payment plan can be set up throughout the year so that you can just monthly give a set fees until it is paid for. You can do credit card payments through RICOR, and there is financial aid available. If you need that financial aid, please talk to Dr. Martin. There's his email address and his phone number. Again, here is our drop-off day, the day of departure. That Tuesday, you will meet back 8:30 at the back lot for Northeast Middle, and you'll return between 1 and 1:30. You'll have more arrangements from your camp director. During that time, when you drop off, you do need all of your supplies, which we'll talk about in just a second. So again, it is in Camp Lakewood. It is about 80 miles away. Safety is always our priority at camp. So we have a nurse that is on hand 24/7. She stays at the camp. She is within walking distance of the cabins, which are all very close together. There is a hospital in Potosi if there were a need for that. We do have a signed behavior contract that the student and a caregiver must sign, detailing things that may prohibit you from, or you might have to go home if you break some of those rules. So we'll go through that in a little bit. The YMCA closely monitors the weather, if there is any kind of weather. They have safety locations and shelters that all of the staff are aware of. Teachers teach all of the activities, and they are on supervision at all times, including the meals. There's a structured environment. There is very limited free time. We keep them busy. There's a tuck-in teacher at night, and we have cabin leaders that stay in the cabins with the students overnight. Teachers do not stay with them, but cabin leaders, high school cabin leaders do. The teachers stay at a cabin. Um, Normally, the teacher cabin is in the middle, and the girl cabins are to the right of the teacher cabinet, and the boy cabins are to the left. Faculty then, during the night, the teachers will do bed checks sometime during the night. There's also a nightly security patrol that drives through during the night. We never let the students go anywhere by themselves during camp. Either they are with their cabin and their high school counselor at all times. Sometimes, if a student might need to take medicine, they might go with a buddy and just walk up there. But again, all of the cabins and the groups are very, very close together. It is Camp Lakewood. There is a lake. However, we do not do any activities in the lake. We do horseback riding and a climbing wall, and there are helmets involved. For staff, we have a camp director. We have approximately 8 to 10 parkway staff that is down there. So these are teachers or retired teachers that have worked at the camp program for many years. We have 4 YMCA staff that are there. Sometimes we have extra SSD support when needed. We have a full-time nurse, and we have those 10 to 12 cabin leaders, those high school cabin leaders. High school counselors, for the most part, we have had those students. A lot of times the directors choose those students based on recommendations from previous teachers, even their high school teachers. They have to do they have to sign up for it. They have to talk about the activities they have, the school programs that they are in, the leadership programs that they are in. And then the directors, once chosen, the directors have meetings with them. They talk about the type of programs that we have, what it entails to be around the students. So we talk to them quite a bit before they even make it to camp. A typical day at Northeast, we get up around 7 a.m. The students must clean their area, make their beds, clean their cabin, all of those things before they even leave for breakfast. Once we have breakfast, then they come back, and we have a cabin inspection. We check to make sure that their cabin is neat and picked up. And then we have 2 activities. The activities run about an hour and 15, hour and 30 minutes. And then after that, we have lunch, and then we follow up with another 2 activities. About 5 o'clock, when the activities end, the kids have a little bit of free time, about 30 to 45 minutes. During that time, if it's nice outside, sometimes the kids are outside playing. We have a gaga pit. Sometimes they like to throw the football. This is also a time for them to work on their journals, to clean up their cabin. Sometimes kids will shower. But this is just a little bit of free time, but it is enough for them to still kind of interact with some kids that are not in their cabin. After dinner, we go back to the cabin and get ready for the nighttime activity, and we have an evening activity that is about an hour and a half. It is outside most of the time, so depending on the weather, they need to make sure that they are dressing for the weather. Some of the daytime activities that we have archery, we have aquabio, where we look at the critters in the creek. We have a eco-geo unit where we go up and look at an old abandoned lead mine, and they look for, in the ground, they look for some galena. We do a fire building unit. We have horseback riding. We do nature hikes. We have an orienteering. We have a ropes course, a skulls unit, and we do a climbing wall. Again, here are some of the activities that we do, and here are some of the pictures. If your student has an IEP and you feel like they might need those accommodations while at camp, please make sure that you speak with your child's IEP case manager. core where you are going to fill out your copies, your permission slip. Actually, I'm sorry. This is a paper copy. This is your permission slip. This says that you are giving us permission and your child permission to go to the camp. It looks like this. It says the camp dates again, and the cost. It also then says either here is your payment plan. So you must tell us how you are paying. Either you are paying in full before the trip, you are setting up a payment plan with Parkway, you want to speak to Dr. Martin about any kind of financial aid, or you prefer that your child not attend camp. A $150 payment must be returned, must be with us before going to camp. Payment must be made in full before camp, or a payment plan set up. That's very important, that you have at least partial payment before we go to camp. There's a behavior contract also that goes along with that sheet. You need to read through every single item with your child and make sure that they are aware and you are aware of all of our expectations during camp. Again, safety is of the highest priority. So there are things in there that we do not tolerate. We do not tolerate horse playing around. Um, it could end up being dangerous. A kid could, if you're playing around, they could fall and hurt themselves. We say no running because they could fall and trip on the loose gravel and hurt their ankle. There are things in there that are there for a reason so that we can maintain the safety of all of our campers. If there comes a point where your child is breaking some of these rules, there are consequences. The consequences, depending on the action, could be as little as we need to talk with the student one-on-one and kind of figure out what's going on, set them back on the right track. It might be something that we need to call the parent on and have a conversation with the parent and the child and the camp director. If it is something that is a severe break, maybe there is a fighting, there is something to that extent, the child will go home. We will send them home. And that is something then that the parent must come and pick up their child at Potosi. They will not, if your child is sent home for a behavior infraction, they will not you will not get your money back for the camp. You will still be billed if you have setting up payment plans because we have already paid for your child. So again, if they are sent home for a behavior problem, you will not get your money back. If your child ends up being sick and they are sent home, of course you would get your money back. All right, supply list. There's a paper copy of the supply list that you need as well. Just remember, depending on when you go, we have 2 camps going in November. It could be cold. It could be a mild start to the fall. We don't know. So you need to watch the weather. We also have a camp going in April. So again, you have to watch the weather. You can see this was a camp in November one time and it snowed. So you just never know. That is Missouri weather. Food allergies. If you can click again the hyperlinks from this that we have emailed, you can click a sample menu. If you have any allergies, you must write them down on the forms that you have. If your child has any allergies, please make us aware, especially food allergies. Groups. So within our cabins, we have anywhere from mostly it's 10 to 12 campers in a cabin. If it's either they're all boys or all girls, depending on the cabin. The students are allowed to write down 5 names of people that they would like to have in their cabin. They are guaranteed 1 person. They probably get more, but they are guaranteed 1. The teachers, once we have those cards, we spend lots of time putting them in cabin groups. We look at the dynamics of each of the students. We want to, make sure that it is positive experience for everyone, So we kind of look at a lot of different things when we put them in cabin groups. So please know that we spend a lot of time doing that because we want a positive experience for all of our students. All right, so here's a look at some of our cabins. This is actually a two cabin. They share a sleeping area. So on the right are the sleeping areas, and on the middle there is a common area. There's a common area. If you are in cabin 1, you are not allowed to go into any other cabin except for cabin 1. Cabin 1 would share a common area with cabin 2, so of course you could be in the common area, but you are not allowed to go outside of your cabin into another cabin. So again, these are just cabins. This is what the inside looks like. They are bunk beds. So on the supply list, they need some kind of a sleeping things, either a sleeping bag or sheets and a blanket. This is the common area, what it looks like. The restrooms, I always show kids because they do want to know about the privacy of restrooms. There are curtains, and then you can't see it here, but there is a door here, just like there is a stall to the restroom. There are stall to the showers here. So there is privacy. Here's the nurse's cabin. Again, it is right within short walking distance with all of the cabins. They're basically all in a row. So this is where, if you get medicine, here is the little window that you can get medicine. There's also sleeping bunks there in case your child gets sick and needs to, maybe they have a headache and just need to lay down for a little bit. That's where they would go. All right, so here is where you fill out all the information. On Infinite Campus, in the parent portal side, it will have a little link here that says Northeast Camp, health form and permission slips. These are all of the forms that you need to fill out. Like this, we also have paper copies available, but this seems to be much easier for parents to be able to fill it out completely. Okay, so here's where it is. It looks like here's the parent portal. It's only through the parent portal, not through the students portal. So if you look down here, it will have, this is where you would look for, okay, on the menu, at the left side, the menu. Information from our nurse, Jane Sinnott. She is the McKelvey nurse. She will be going with us to all 3 of our camps. And then our Northeast camps, Miss Klutz and Nurse Klutz and Nurse Wagner will be here at North. So this is where you will give all of your medicine and medical forms to these nurses, and then they will transfer them to Jane, to Nurse Sinnott. All med and medicine paperwork must be turned in 2 weeks prior to departure. And the reason being is we have to get all of this together. We need to make sure that we have everything, that Nurse Sinnott has time to go through them to make sure that she is ready to receive our campers. It's very important that you have that. All medicine must be in its medical forms. If you have a prescription bottle, you need to make sure that all of your medicine is in that prescribed bottle. If you have one that has like 50 pills in it, don't put all 50 in there. Just leave what you need for those 4 days. Mail, our students do love to get mail, but just know that getting mail to Potosi, Missouri does take a long time. So you probably need to send it at least a week in advance if you want your child to receive mail while they are there. And then lastly, thank you so much. If you do have questions, remember all forms are due September 13th. And if you have any questions, you need to refer to your camp director. So Achieve is Miss Rankin, Believe Mr. Herndon, and Inspire Miss Davenport. Hope the video has been helpful to you. We also are sending all of this, all the hyperlinks to you in the email.